Welcome to Big Blend Radio with your hosts, Lisa and Nancy, editors of BigBlendMagazine.com.
Welcome to Big Blend Radio's Vacation Station Travel Show with Nancy Reed and Lisa Smith. We're the publishers of Big Blend Radio and TV Magazine, as well as Parks and Travel Magazine. They're both digital and interactive. You can check them out at BigBlendMagazines.com. And as many of you know, we're also full-time travelers on our Love Your Parks tour, where we travel the country visiting parks and public lands and sharing the stories of their communities. Today, we're excited to have our friend Linda Kissam, the food, wine, and shopping diva, back on the show. Diva Linda is a travel writer. She's the president of the International Food, Wine, Travel Writers Association, and she's joining us today with, guess what, another Diva-approved destination. Her Diva-approved destination is the Tri-Valley region of Northern California, just east of the Bay Area. And you can check her article up right now. Go to blendradioandtv.com. Just type in Diva Linda. You'll find it. But this area, she says in her article, it is a showcase of wine, beer, parks, and unique eateries. So like, like her website is allingoodtaste.info. So it sounds like she found another all in good taste place. She has got two special guests joining us today. We've got Robin Fahr, who's a director of communications at Visit Tri-Valley. So go to check out their website, visittrivalley.com. We also have Eric Wall, who has one of the best jobs in the world. He's the founder and owner of BottleTaps. So check them out at BottleTaps.com. So first off, Diva Linda, the divas always go first. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm sitting on my boat in Pender Harbor, British Columbia.
Wow.
Waiting for the big thunderstorm to dump on us. But so I may be in, I may be out. But I'm happy to be here.
We're excited to have you back here, and it's always exciting to hear about your recent Diva-approved adventures and destination. We're in Florence, Colorado today, Diva Linda, and Southern Colorado. You'd like it because it's the antique capital of the state. I know.
Yeah, a lot of shopping.
A lot of shopping for you, but also we have a big monsoon storm coming in, so we could crash.
So we all know. Okay.
So this could be fun. But welcome, Robin. How are you?
I am doing great, and I'm listening to your guys' weather woes, and all I can say is the Tri-Valley is sunshine you can count on. We are quintessential California, and we're just sitting here in our perfect 75-degree weather today, and not a cloud in the sky, no monsoons, no thunderstorms. So I'll be with you for the duration.
Well, I've heard that you have, you have sunshine in a glass, too, that you've got a lot of wine.
Oh, we do. We have plenty of that. The Chardonnay that so many of us enjoy so much was really 80% of the Chardonnay, California Chardonnay, was developed right here in the Livermore Valley and by the Wente family. And I got to tell you, if that doesn't look like sunshine in the glass, I don't know what does.
Well, that's it. Nancy, let's pack our bags.
Let's go.
You're welcome. We loved having Linda with us.
Man, I bet. Eric, welcome to the show. What are you pouring for us today?
Well, we here at BottleTaps, we have a different version of sunshine in a glass. We have some meads, which are our local bees come around, collect the honey, make the honey, and make mead out of it. So we call that sunshine in a glass here.
Wow. Okay. Because is mead on the rise? Because I've seen more and more people, especially the travel writers like Linda, talk about mead. Is that something, back in those like ancient British days, I always think of mead, but it seems like it's making a comeback.
It is. Actually, mead is the oldest alcoholic beverage on the planet. They found traces of it in the pyramids. But now mead, a lot of people, used to think mead was for Vikings and that kind of stuff. But mead is very much just honey wine. It's very delicate. It could be heavily flavored. It could be very lightly flavored. And it's on the rise, as well as ciders and kombuchas, which we also do here.
Kombucha. I know.
I like that.
Diva Linda.
It sounds like a dance.
When you say that Tri-Valley, the Tri-Valley region is Diva approved, what was the main thing that really stood out for you? Because it seemed like you had a really good time just, with the arts, museums, the parks, the wine, of course. Ice cream trail? Did I read that right? An ice cream trail?
So for me, the word that best maybe describes, one word that best describes this particular destination is a variety. There's lots and lots and lots of things to do. So often when you go and you think you're going to wine country, you know, your palate can take about 4 wine stops and then you're dead. You got to do something else. And sometimes when you're in wine country, it's gorgeous, and maybe there's a downtown, maybe there's not, but pretty much after 4, you're gone. You're going to have to eat, or you're going to have to come back the next day or whatever. And in this particular place, there is so much to do. And I brought on my favorite. I asked Eric to come on because BottleTaps was so unique. I mean, I've been to, obviously, many times been to beer halls, but this place was so thoughtful. The way he does it, he'll explain it later, but I'm telling you, sometimes you just find gems. And for me, I don't remember any beer hall ever having their own chef. It's just not coming to mind. And he got a really good one. So, you know, the wineries are great. The Chardonnay, I don't like Chardonnay very much, but I have to say I have to revisit it because some of those Chardonnays were very, very good. The wine in general is very good, but it is the diversity of what you can do. My gosh, they have these gorgeous small towns. You know, Lisa, you and I love the small towns, and and these small towns are the locals love it. They patronize it. There's shops everywhere. I didn't see
shopping.
any dead. No dead stores, no icky sidewalks. All of this is just beautifully done. And icky sidewalks. And my second favorite thing was the dim sum. I mean, who in the heck thinks they're going to get dim sum in wine country? I mean, it's just wonderful.
I saw the photo.
I
saw the photo because, you know, I'm visual. I go to the photos first. And I'm like, did she get, because you were by, wasn't it Richmond up in the British Columbia area that you were in, and you did like the dim sum trail? And I'm like, Linda, you got your photo mixed up. And then I'm reading, I'm like, no, Diva never gets anything wrong. What am I
No way.
Oh, and it was so good. And we had one British Columbia person with us who kept saying, you know, I just never eat dim sum out of British Columbia. Just don't do it. But he was kind. And then, of course, he ate almost everything on his plate the whole time. So he thought it was wonderful, too. So it's not just, you know, the California palates, the West Coast palates that love it. It was just fabulous. And everything was fabulous. I wrote all about it. And the best thing is you have to stay at the Aloft Hotel. Now, oh my God, that thing is wired. It's internet wired. It's the craziest thing. I haven't stayed in one of these hotels that is run by Alexa. So Alexa turns on the lights in your room, turns them off, does this, does that, and then if you forget something, they send a robot. It's hilarious. They send a robot up with your toothpaste or your drink or whatever it is you want.
Oh, wait a minute. We can have a cocktail robot? Wait.
Yes, you can.
I'd be doing that all night long. I'd be doing it all night. I'd be drinking shots just to
have the robot come up.
Fast.
Well, I have to tell you, sorry, I did that, you know, been there, done that. It was fabulous. And this is just, you know, a great place. And one more thing I'll say before you let the other guests explain their part of it or share their part of it is, you know, transportation is not very far from the transportation is easy. Easy. Stay at the Aloft Hotel. You can get to wherever you need very easily. You can drive if you have a car, designated driver, of course. But also, you are treated to black tie transportation. Oh my gosh, just put it in your budget. These guys are beautiful. They run you around in this wonderful short or small shuttle, which is wonderful, that has drink holders everywhere. Gives you a little champagne toast when you get on. I mean, it's just, so black tie transportation, I think really is the way to go. You know, when you go to a destination, save your money so that you have the funds you need to be able to enjoy it responsibly. All this, everything that I write about is very close, and I even give you the minutes. You know, one thing is 20 minutes from the hotel, the other one is 1 minute walk. I tell you exactly how long it will take you to get to every place that I recommend. So Diva approved destination, couldn't have had better hosts, both from the destination itself and the individual places we went. So enthusiastic, so wonderful, so unspoiled. Really, really wonderful place.
Wow.
Maybe the robots could be trained to say Diva approved.
I know, Diva approved. I did.
Oh, that'd be good.
I love this.
I
want to go back to you, Robin, on this so that people can understand where you are.
Okay.
Because it's the Tri-Valley, so you've got 3 regions coming together with a whole bunch of wine, right?
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. So we are in the San Francisco Bay Area. The Tri-Valley is the far east side of the San Francisco Bay Area. And so if you go to a map and you're looking for Tri-Valley, California, it's not there. It's just a kind of a local thing that we all know that's what this area is called. And it consists of Livermore, it consists of Pleasanton, it consists of Dublin, and it consists of Danville. And what's going on in Dublin that Linda was referring to, we have a large number of the Chinese and Indian influence there that are making their foods as authentic and as homemade as possible, and they're abounding. So the diversity of the ethnic food scene in Dublin is actually comparable to a San Francisco or a New York. It's an amazing way to kind of see a different kind of eating. Whereas when you go to Livermore, really known for its wine country, that is one of the very first wine countries in the state of California.
Wow.
Back, everybody doing their wine back in the day. And then Prohibition came along, and of course that wiped a lot out. But the Kilkennans and the Wenties right here in Livermore, they just started making Sacramento wine. You got to love that. And they kept going. And it has just been, so now we're talking 5th generation winemakers. And it's so different from some of our other wine regions that you maybe know more about in Northern California. But the Livermore Valley, not only the oldest, but it's the way it always used to be. You meet the winemaker. You're going in for a very reasonable tasting fee. Let me tell you, we're not up there in the 50s. We're still doing $5, $10, $15 tasting fees.
Wow.
You meet the family. There's parking is free in the Tri-Valley, and it's everywhere. It is just so user-friendly. If you don't know quite what you're doing when it comes to swirling and sniffing, and nobody is going to laugh you out of there. They're like, come on, sit down with the family. We'll show you how this is done. So it's really, when I say warmth, which is, our weather here, it's lovely and warm as you expect California to be. So different from San Francisco, where it's really cold there right now, but you go through the valley and you come to us and it's warm, but the friendliness, it's a warm welcome on so many levels. And that's it. Pleasanton is known for its adorable downtown. It used to be very much the Old West. And now you can still see the boardwalk sidewalks there. You can see where the women were hanging out of the brothels. I mean, you can see all of that. It's very she now. This is where, you have schools and all of that. But best restaurants. We've had some awesome restaurants like Eric coming in with BottleTaps. Just really fabulous, high-end food. And then there's adorable Danville, which is an adorable downtown with so many stops on the ice cream trail, our award-winning ice cream trail. We've got Mount Diablo there. We've got Eugene O'Neill's Dow House, where he did so much of his Nobel and Pulitzer Prize winning screenplays, or not screenplays, scripts for theater. And he is, we have his home there. So there's just so much historical culture, food. Al fresco dining is huge out here. We do a lot of it. Dog friendly. And then you get the beer scene, the wine scene. This is why Linda's talking about it like this, because it's really the perfect place to go if you want to stay in San Francisco. It's going to be expensive. Then come on out to us. Things are a lot less expensive out here in the Tri-Valley. Stay over the night at the Aloft, and you're not going to spend those San Francisco prices. And then maybe you keep going east and you head up to Yosemite. So we're the kind of on the way, and that's where you guys, I know that's where but we're right in between San Francisco and Yosemite, closer to San Francisco. But that's really the idea, is come and see local California. Come and see how the real of us live. Our farmers, they're They're wine growers, our scientists, we're a tech area too. So, and the weekends are the best time to come because everything's more expensive here dealing with business during the week, whereas you come out for the weekend, prices on the hotels go down.
Really?
Yeah, it's
This is
one of those
different.
top things. Yeah. So go to Yosemite during the week and go to San Francisco during the week, but hit us during the weekend and you'll enjoy just a whole different vibe.
I wanted to bring this up because Nancy and I I was talking with Eric about this earlier. About 5 years ago, I think it was, we were doing Point Reyes and Marin County and Muir Woods National Monument. And then we had to haul back down to Arizona for some reason. And I was looking at the map and I'm going, and actually remember John over at Point Reyes National Seashore, Nancy? And he was going, one of the most untapped areas for the national park units is the East Bay area. Yeah. And he was saying there's a circle. So he was like, we need to go spend like a week or 2 weeks and do Port Chicago, Rosie the Riveter, Eugene O'Neill, and I think there's a couple others. And it's all tied in together. And then we didn't, now we have to come back because Diva said so. So
yeah,
we have to go back.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, the East Bay Regional Parks District is a gem in the nation, and we have one of our main naturalists out here actually got offered a job with Yosemite and turned it down for East Bay Regional Parks District. And when he told Yosemite, I'm not coming, I'm doing this, they said, oh, we get it.
Wow.
Nobody ever turns down Yosemite, but East Bay Regional Parks is something else.
Oh,
so,
John Muir, National Historic Site.
Absolutely. Lake Del Valle. We've got so much. It's amazing.
Wow, how exciting. Cool. Eric, let's go to you and play BottleTaps because,
it's a new game.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, first I'd like to thank Linda for those kind words. We had a great time hosting her and then the rest of them that came for that day. And so a little bit about BottleTaps. We as Robin was saying, we've got a major wine country here. There's over, I believe, 60 wineries now, or more than 60, Robin?
Yeah, 55 at least. Wow. Yeah, tasting rooms.
Yeah. All right. And so, I come from a beer background. My grandfather taught me how to brew beer when I was younger, and I've been brewing for about 28 years. And, when I came up with this idea, I was in the corporate world down in the Silicon Valley and decided that, I wanted to be a little closer and see my family a little more. And so started coming up with some ideas, and, BottleTaps was born out of a couple of things. And one of them was, being in the middle of wine country, people think about wine and food pairings, but a lot of people don't realize that beer pairs with fine foods as well. And so a lot of people, when they think a beer hall or a beer place, they're thinking nachos and chicken wings and burgers and fries and that kind of thing. And I wanted to turn that impression right on its head. And so BottleTaps came out of wanting to show people that there's more beer styles out there. There's about 135 different beer styles according to the Beer Judge Certification Program. And, so a lot of people, maybe think, hey, I don't like beer, right? And that's because they've only ever had a fizzy yellow domestic beer that they didn't care for, or maybe someone they trusted gave them a big hoppy IPA and they're not really a hoppy person. But there are dozens or hundreds of different kinds of beers that appeal to a lot of different people. And so what we really enjoy doing here at BottleTaps is introducing people to those things. And one of the easiest ways to do that is through food and beer pairings. And so, because then they're not purchasing a pint of something they may not know that they, if they like or not. They get a little piece of food, they get a beer, and they're like, wow, I would have never tried that. So that's one of the big things that we like to do here at BottleTaps and introducing people to new things.
Cool. I like that.
A lot.
I love that.
So, but in addition to beer and great food, we also carry a line of meads, ciders, and kombuchas, all things fermented. So introducing people to those things as well. Both meads, actually all three, mead, cider, and kombucha, are blowing up right now, and people like to learn about it in an environment that fosters that is friendly, with knowledgeable staff. I require all of my staff to be Cicerone certified beer servers, so they have training in how to get people to something that they might like.
Wow, Diva, Linda,
tell us about your chef. Yeah, I'd like to have when he says food and beer. I'm telling you, this is really, really exceptional. Not sort of just good or great. This is exceptional. Can you tell us a little bit about your chef and how you came to bring a chef to a beer place, which just blows my mind?
Well, my chef was at a wine bar that was in downtown Livermore, Double Barrel, and so he had done wine and beer food pairing. And he was ready to make a move, and I brought up the idea. We got introduced. My wife's actually been in the food industry here for about 35 years and knows a lot of people, and so we got introduced and started talking to him about beer, and he was interested in it, and so we had him come, and his interview was I gave him 4 beers and said, you got 3 days to do pairings and come cook them at my house. And he knocked it out of the park. And so from there on, we just started working on food and beer pairings, and just the different flavor notes and what goes together, and we were able to create this kind of amazing new little concept here in Pleasanton.
See, I told you I had the best job.
Yeah, that's because I want to add something to this. Is Robin? I want to add something to what Eric was saying. Back in January, we came up with this idea. We had a group coming in, and we said, let's do a wine versus beer pairing, because we just knew that everybody was going to choose the wine. But he paired the food, so you had a really wonderful morsel of food, and then there was the beer that would go best with it and the wine that would go best with it. And we moved down that palette and did this, and then we gave everybody these like they were in an auction, raising their pallets up to say
voting paddles.
And it was really fun because it was a really close race. I think wine did win in this case, but we learned that if you start cooking with the beer and you start cooking and then you add it to that morsel that you're serving, it's a pairing beyond any, you just love it. It was so unique, and this group just went crazy for it. It was great. Wine versus awesome. Beer.
Hey.
And the really fun thing about that was that there was, people that came in and straight out said, well, I don't like beer, I only like wine. And to see those people voting for beer on certain courses was really, really cool. And just having the conversations afterwards, and opening people's eyes to new things.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, I would buy this. I would start drinking this. So
well, that's
really
interesting. Cool. Yeah, I've had to do that with Nancy and beer. It's kind of been like it's hard because she's not a beer drinker. And
there are some I like. There are.
Yeah. So now we, get her into different ones. And I know when we go somewhere, okay, try this one over here. Maybe, something you enjoy. So, and the cider, it's interesting. I grew up in South Africa as a teenager, and cider, we drank hard cider, just saying. I know my mom's
I'm sitting here.
Yeah. But hard cider, I remember it was Hunter's Gold or something. Hard cider was a big deal. And then I didn't see cider in England. When we lived in England, it was a big deal. And then when I got over here, nobody knew what I was talking about, And then suddenly, it seems like the last 5 to 10 years, cider's everywhere. So it's exciting.
Yeah, there's a lot of cider houses that are coming up. A new one just came in yesterday to introduce us to themselves, and it's another form of expression, very much like wine. Where the cider makers can change the basic product and make a whole variety of things. And I think, as you said, it's really popular in Europe and places in Africa and stuff like that. But up until probably 5 or 8 years ago, Europe didn't know about it at all. America didn't know about it at all.
So, Diva, Linda, did you drink cider or mead, or did you stick to the wine when you were there?
Oh no, I had as much of everything as I could possibly have. It was,
Linda.
Yeah, I generally go. That's my job. No, we had actually Eric did a really good job of giving us a variety of types of liquid refreshment, just not beer. So it was quite wonderful. And then of course when we were traveling about and having dinner and stuff, we were able to have really inventive cocktails, which I thought was wonderful, and wine or whatever. Robin was a great host and let us order lots of stuff to try it. There is just some darn thing for everybody. And I do want to make sure that I say that BottleTaps is a casual place. We're talking about really a high-end experience. in my estimation, from what I've seen from around the world, not just the U.S., but around the world. But it is casual, and you can sit by yourself, or you can sit at a long table, or you can sit in a group of 10, or whatever you want. They have music as well. I mean, this is just a really special place. I'm so glad Robin decided to take us there, because we were, it was mostly locals, but it shouldn't be mostly locals. It should be a visitor stop, because it is just
thank you.
just quite exciting. I'm really looking forward to coming back next year, perhaps, and seeing Eric, what Eric's done. I think he's just getting started here, and boy, what a, we're watching a rock star here, I think, and I think you have a great, I do, I think, and I think I think it's something that you could have a chain of, the original, almost always is best, but you've got a good concept there, and keep going with it, sweetie. I mean, I'm just really happy to, if I were there, I would take my friends there, take anybody from in town, because you just cannot have wine all the time. You just cannot. And you just cannot eat just, places that have wine. You need to get out. I mean, this is so easy to do. These places are so close to the hotel and wine country. I don't know who planned all this, but they did a darn good job. Diva approved. Really good.
Thank you.
We're feeling a little jealous now, aren't we, Nancy?
I know. It's like, hey, wait a
You can
minute.
fix that. You can just call me and I'll take you out there. I know all the
Awesome.
best places. We know where to go. We have something that's fun that we did with Eric in January when we did wine versus beer. We have the Blue Brew Bus, which is the way you get around when you want to go to different breweries.
Nice.
For heaven's
Have
sake.
the wine trolley. So we put half of our team in a wine trolley and the other half in the Blue Brew Bus, and we're barreling down the road, and everybody, who's the best.
That's funny.
It was just super fun. So there's just
Wow.
it's a really friendly and social atmosphere here. And when we were there on Friday night with the writers, yes, there was this wonderful Irish band that came in. Weren't they from Ireland, Eric? I think so, right? And
No, but they played the main stage at the Dublin St. Patrick's Day Festival.
oh, okay. So it was so wonderful. So just like Linda said, if you were there by yourself, you'd be involved. Just
Fine.
it's super friendly, fun. It's kind of how you think California is supposed to be, but it's, we don't have the beach here. We have lakes, but it is this is kind of the local quintessential California, where the sun shines and we eat straight from the farmer's market. You go down to the farmer's market, you'll see the local chefs are right there with you purchasing, and it's just a really down home, good feeling around here.
Wow, this is awesome. This is awesome. Diva, Linda, did you enjoy Mount Diablo?
Well, we didn't get to Mount Diablo, but everybody kept pointing it out. So that would be for next time. I write a little bit about it in my article, because I think it's important to know your public parks, and I think it ought to be. I wish we had, but we didn't have time. It probably should be the first thing you do. Get your car, get your Uber, get whatever, the black tie transportation. Get yourself up on Mount Diablo to see just what we're talking about in this Tri-Valley area and how beautiful it is. I've talked to many people who've done that, and they just thought it was absolutely wonderful.
It is.
So,
you get to look over the whole valley. You get to see you get to see the three valleys coming together. And then if you look far west, you see the Golden Gate Bridge and the ocean. If you, on a clear day, and with some binoculars, you can see Half Dome in Yosemite.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that amazing? So it really is the kind of getting you on the top, looking down upon, and it's really its own little weather system up there. But I didn't take everybody up because we were out of time. I really only had one weekend with them. I wanted them to see some culture and the food scene, and a little bit of shopping for those who could. But it was
Diva, Linda, you said shopping,
Said that word.
Oh, I know. I was still recovering from my knee operation, but I limped to a couple of them. Me and my cane and I. We limped to things, but I'll tell you what. Next time I go, I've got a credit card. They'll be smiling. People will be clapping. They will be clapping when I leave.
the Diva
All
Gold
of them.
card. She's got the Diva
That's
Gold
right.
card with sparkles on it as well. The one
That's
thing
right.
you also mentioned the museum and also theater in your article. So when you're talking about the culture, that's important.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'll let Robin talk to that a little bit because she has more history on it, but just as a visitor. So let's just say you're tired of whining and dining and so forth and you need something more. This is what I mean by diversity. So you can go to the Black Hawk Museum in Danville, which is, by the way, just 15 minutes from the hotel. And you can see all the cars, vintage cars you ever want to see. Unbelievable. What a great volunteer outreach. I think it's a nonprofit if I'm not incorrect. And oh my gosh, I mean, I'm not into cars that much, but you get into cars after you see these gorgeous vintage things. Oh my Lord. And then you go upstairs. Yeah. And then you go upstairs and there's this wonderful Old West exhibition, which I think I thought was really well done. And then they're adding something new, Robin, a whole new wing, and Robin can tell you more about that. I was a little confused about why it wasn't opening quickly, but anyway, it's one more thing. You can go back is what I'm trying to say. You see it once, you can go back, and it seems to me they change things, they rearrange things, and it's always wonderful. And the other thing we did, which I thought was just really smart, was something called the Bankhead Theater, and it could be, it was really, that's another, it's just like 15 minutes again. It's just, you can do it as a pre-dinner show, and what we saw was a light comedy it was political comedy, and I thought it was well done.
Oh,
and,
cool.
Small,
we need that now.
Small, oh yeah. Small theater. Not overly bashing one side or the other, but everybody got everything. So I thought it was, I think it met all tastes, and 500 seat venue. I mean, what more could you ask?
Wow.
A huge arena.
Yeah.
So those are the two activities that that you could do outside of wine tasting, outside of shopping. I'm trying to think if there was but it was wonderful. I loved it. I thought it was really smart on Robin's part to show us that as well.
Yeah.
Because what I do love to see is the art and the gardens of an area. So that's something perhaps that I can do next year or beyond, because this is just such a good destination. I mean, you could just send your husband or your children one way, and you can go the other way and meet back, and know that everybody's had a good time. I don't know if you've ever been to a wine country destination where those people with you are bored after 2 tastings and looking around to do something else, and that's all there is to do is wine tasting. So I think that in this case there's so much to do, such diversity. Just really pleased with the way that this is all developed, and hope to support it as it moves along.
Wow, this is a Diva approved place, Robin.
Yeah, it really is. And they were such great guests. It was hard to know what they would love the most, because I had to choose. But now that I'm hearing Linda saying about the gardens, I know next time when she comes, I'm taking her back to Wente, where, by the way, they had huge outdoor concerts, and you've got Josh Groban coming. Just some incredible artists up there. Outside, a white owl will fly over. You're sitting outside. You've just had this grand meal. But a lot of the meal's vegetables come from where I will take Linda next time. You just go next to the caves at Wente, and there is a gorgeous garden back there. And you meet Diane, the gardener, and she's just cultivating the beautiful vegetables that end up on your table that night.
Oh, wow.
It is sensational. It really is. And to see her love and passion for this garden. They also, if you enjoyed the beef, you look over there and you see some cattle, and you say,
wow.
okay, well, that's why it was so fresh. But, the vegans aren't liking this part, but it is a really, farm area. And that's why we get all of this goodness there, and the outdoor and the theater that we were talking about, the Bankhead. They have some great guests coming through. I wanted to get them to see something in our cute theaters. And the Black Hawk Museum, where I took Linda and the team, was, as she mentioned, the cars, whether you're a car enthusiast or not, these look like gems. These look like diamonds that have been buffed to perfection. So they're pieces of art. And the owner of the museum, Ken Baring, who just recently passed away just a couple of weeks ago. His travels around the world have created the Black Hawk Museum, which is this eclectic museum. If you're looking for a theme, you will not find one. It's basically, he went to China and he said, I have to bring this back. And so Into China is the one Linda was referring to that's in development right now. They're doing the Forbidden City in there. So if you never get to China, you go to the Black Hawk Museum, you'll see it there, and the Western story that he has and the African story that he has. So the theme is, I've been around the world, not everybody can, come on in and I'll show you that, and it's the coolest cars you've ever seen. And
Cool.
It's Smithsonian Museum, so it's part of that of that collective too. So it's very interesting.
That's exciting. I think that's Nancy and I always wanted to open a theme park. That was where you could go around the world. Well, the Epcot Center does it, but I think we'd have to partner with Eric because we want what we call wiggy, wine or beer according to each country.
It was supposed to be called Alcohol World.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, and you go from country to country, and you get the right kind of alcohol for the country and the food pairing, and then you go to the next country if you can still walk. You can
still walk. Yeah. You get your black tie, take you.
I know. Diva Linda, would you?
I'm happy to help.
Yeah, Diva, would you go there on a media trip, Diva Linda, to Alcohol World?
Well, yeah. I'm surprised they haven't sent a plane for me. I mean, yeah.
I know, but Eric would have to help us on that for sure. But this sounds like such an amazing destination. We appreciate you all joining us, and Diva Linda out on a boat. I hope that you stay floating and safe when those storms come through, and you enjoy the rest of your floating this summer. Where are you going?
Thank you.
Where's your next place?
I don't ask. I'm just a passenger on my husband's dream. This is his. This is his major bucket list. I have an office and downstairs on the boat, and I don't know, but I do know we are in Canada, and we are going up towards Alaska, but not in Alaska. We still have. Wow. He wants to do some salmon fishing and some prawns fishing and some other stuff. So we're living my husband's dream, but pretty soon it's my turn, and we'll be back in Arizona, and I can. And I bought a big piece of sculpture to put in my Arizona home, so I'm all good. I'm very excited.
Oh, you finally got, very good. Oh. Well, we'll see you when you get down to Arizona. Everyone, you can keep up with Diva Linda's adventures. Go to allingoodtaste.info. Again, her article on the Tri-Valley area, just go to blendradioandtv.com and type in Tri-Valley, or you can see Linda listed and featured in our expert department, and you can read her other articles as well. You can go to trivalley.com. Visit Tri-Valley. Did I get that right, Robin?
That's right. Visit trivalley.com. Mm-hmm.
All right. And Eric, it's BottleTaps.com, right?
Yep, BottleTaps.com.
So everyone go check it out and go have an adventure, especially if you're out in the Bay Area or going to Yosemite, make a turn because it's always good. I want to thank everyone for joining us here on Big Blend Radio. We air Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. You can keep up with the schedule. You can listen live or later on demand. Just go to bigblend.radio.com. And we like to close with some music. Here is the Diva Bossa Nova, written by Diva Linda's son-in-law, incredible guitarist, Micha Schellhaas. And you can go to michamusic.com. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.